Good morning, guys. Today we'll start with a new topic, that is routing. I think till now all of you know what do you mean by this particular term. If I ask you how many things are involved in routing, so what you will say? In routing, first of all, router will receive the traffic on the interface. After that, router will check routing table. Now we have a concern. What is the concern? Concern is how router will build its routing table. How? The thing is, we define IP addresses on the and we also provide subnet mask. What router will do? Router will apply AND operation and router will calculate network ID. Now what router will do next thing? Router will bind this network ID with interface. Now router will check routing table according to this particular information. Now router will switch traffic from incoming to exit interface. Next thing, after that router will change layer 2 information in the traffic. Fifth thing, when router will receive the traffic, router will decrease TTL by 1. Any issues? These are the 5 things that combine and form a single word, that is called routing. All of you are clear with this thing? Now guys, routing is basically of 2 types. One is static, other one is dynamic. What do you mean by static routing and what do you mean by dynamic routing? Okay, let's say I am in Delhi. Fine. I want to reach Mumbai. So, what I will do, I will ask for help. That I want to go to Mumbai, please tell me the way. Now, what someone can do? Someone can tell me, you can go to Jaipur. From Jaipur, you can travel to Ahmedabad. From Ahmedabad, you can travel to Mumbai. It means I will not choose any other path. I will choose a single path, that is from Delhi to Jaipur, Jaipur to Ahmedabad to Mumbai. This thing is clear. And what is dynamic routing? It does not mean best path or neighbor advertise each other something. The thing is, path will be learned dynamically. Try to understand a simple logic, very simple logic. if in the upper case, someone told me the way, like you have to travel to Jaipur from Delhi, from Jaipur to Ahmedabad, from Ahmedabad to Mumbai. Just think like the path between Jaipur and Ahmedabad. There is a problem in the path between Jaipur and. So if I follow the static path, I will get stuck. I will get stuck. But if I use dynamic routing, just think like I am using. Okay. All of you are using Android phones. In Android phones, you have a service called Maps. Fine. Just try to understand. If you are traveling from Jaipur to Ahmedabad and there is some problem, if I define the path statically, you will got stuck because you don't know any other way. Yes, you have only one path, that is your defined path. But if you are dealing with dynamic routing, you will search on GPS that I want another way to go to Ahmedabad, and you will get away. Like from Jaipur to Ahmedabad, you can go via, I don't know the place. You can go via any other place also. This thing is clear. What I want to say, when you define the path statically, there is only one way. If that way is not working, you will never able to send the traffic. But if I talk about dynamic routing, paths are learned dynamically. What do you mean by dynamically? Automatically. This thing is clear? Okay. Let's discuss one example. Fine. To clear the difference between static and dynamic. Fine. Now guys, if I say this is my network, R1, R2, R3, R4, this is A, this is B. A want to talk to B. What A will do? A will go to R1. Now, if I talk about static, static means it's my wish. Either I define path like this, or I define path like this. But what's the problem? Problem is, if I define path like this, fine, agree, and if this link goes down, R1 will never get to know that this link is not working. This thing is clear? R1 will never get to know that this link is not working. R1 will always send traffic to R2, and R2 will drop the traffic because the link between R2 and R3 is not working. But if I talk about dynamic routing, in case of dynamic routing, R1 knows about both of the paths. R1 knows about. Now there will be a question in your mind, sir, how? How R1 will get to know about both of the paths? This will be the question. Guys, just try to understand. Dynamic routing is nothing but a process that I have to run on every router. Agree? Like on R1, R2, R3 and R4, I will run a process. Let's say any dynamic routing protocol I am running. What they will do? They will exchange information. What information? Network information. What information? It means R1 will tell R2 about its own networks. R2 will tell R1 about its own networks. R2 will tell R3 about its own network. R3 will tell R2 about its. Same will be the case with R4. Agree? Now, R4 will give information about this B network to R3 also and to R3 will give this information to R2 will give this information to. It means R1 will get information of network B from two sides. What are those two sides? R2 and R4. Agree? If, just try to understand, if this link again goes down, this link is down. Now, R1 will stop getting information of network V from R2. Agree or not? So, R1 will never use this path. R1 will always use this path. You can see here, things are dynamic in nature. If this particular link goes down, R1 will stop getting network information from R4 directly. R1 will also always use this path. But in case of static routing, this thing is not possible. This thing is clear? This thing is fine to all of you? Any issues? No. So guys, today we will start with our first type of routing, that is static. Fine. बात करेंगे डियर इसके बारे में जब हम डायनेमिक राउटिंग डिस्कस करेंगे कि डेटाबेस कहाँ स्टोर होता है, कैसे बनाता है राउटर, किस प्रोटोकॉल के लिए डेटाबेस कैसे बनता है. फाइन, वो हमारा कंसर्न अभी नहीं है. फाइन. तो गाइस, स्टैटिक बिफोर स्टार्टिंग विद स्टैटिक राउटिंग आई वांट टू डिस्कस टू थिंग्स विद यू. व्हाट आर दोज टू थिंग्स? वन इज AD. AD stands for administrative. What is administrative distance? It's a value range from yes. Read it out. Very good. Just tell me one thing. If I am holding this duster in my hand, I am so sure about it that it is a duster. But if I will do it like this and I am telling you it is a duster, will you believe? What I am trying to say, reliability factor for me is more, but for you is less, because my hand is connected to me but not connected to you. Agree or not? The same thing goes with the thing that you are holding in your hand. Maybe something I can't see. Yes. Maybe you are holding something in your hand I can't see. Yes. So what I am trying to say, the reliability factor is more from your side than from the other side. This thing is clear. So guys, every routing protocol or every network that exists on a router have this reliability factor. Okay. Just tell me one thing. Guys, there can be only two cases. Sorry. First is, I am holding this duster in my hand. Second is, he is connected to me and he is holding this duster in his hand. Two cases are there. Fine. In first case, duster was connected to me. For whom it will be more reliable? In second case, to him that duster will be more reliable. Agree or not? Okay. How I will define networks? First kind of networks are, network means roots. I can use any term. I can call them roots, I can call them networks. So please don't confuse. I already told you. Root means networks. This is a router, this is the network. What do you mean by this thing? It means it is a directly connected network. Agree? Directly connected networks are most reliable networks. I am saying something right or wrong? Yes. When I was holding the duster in my hand, that was the most reliable thing. Router is holding the network in his own hand. That is the most reliable thing. It means for directly connected networks, it is. Agree? Now, R1, R2. R1 is Piyush. R2 is your name? वाह यार बहुत खुश है नाम बता के रुक जा अभी Ankit is holding a duster. Now, the thing is, Piyush want to take that duster. This thing is clear. This time duster is not connected to Piyush. Agree? See, in this case, duster is directly connected to, not to Piyush. Agree? It means for Ankit, a default duster is 0. Agree? Any issue? Now, try to understand. Piyush want to reach Ankit. Agree or not? Piyush can reach Ankit by two ways. One by using static routing, one by using dynamic routing. Agree? Now, first thing, when there is a need to configure routing. क्या बोला मैं? When there will be a need? When we have indirectly connected networks, then there will be a need to configure routing. Otherwise, there is no need to configure routing. Agree? See, in this case, if Ankit want to see the duster, there is no need of. There will be routing, but there is no need to configure routing. Router will always perform routing, whether networks are directly connected or whether networks are indirectly connected. But my point of view is, when there will be a need to configure routing, only when we have indirectly connected networks. Now in this case, Piyush can reach Ankit by two ways. One by using static routing, other by using. It means static routing must be having a reliability, and dynamic routing also must be having a reliability. Agree or not? So if I talk about static routing is the second most reliable routing. Static routing is the second most reliable routing. ओके फर्स्ट पे भाई एडी 0 मोस्ट रिलायबल इट मीन्स लेस एडी इज मोर प्रेफर्ड लेस एडी इज which routing or which networks are most preferred? Directly connected. After directly connected, AD for static routing is 1. It means if we talk about reliability, R1 want to reach Ankit, reliability for the path is 1. Ankit want to reach the duster, reliability for the path is 0. Agree? Now there will be a question in your mind, sir, why we have all this stuff? What's the use? Why we are defining reliability? Guys, you are new to networking. Fine. There are many things which you are not known to. Wait for some time, you will get to know why we need AD. What's the use of AD? Agree? Any issue? That was something मैंने कुछ गलत बोला. If Piyush want to reach duster, then reliability is 1. Fine. Sorry. Now guys, this thing is clear. What was the second way? I can use any dynamic routing. In dynamic routing, we have different protocols and every protocol has its own AD. We will not discuss about that thing now. Fine. I think you got the concept of AD. Fine. Next thing is, metric is also read it out. It means we can't discuss range of metric now. It's not possible. But what I am trying to tell you, just concentrate on the point. What is the point? You remember this example? When I told you that I am running a dynamic routing protocol here, what I am running? R4 will give information of network B to R3. R3 will give it to R2. R2 will give it to. And R4 will also directly give this information to R1. Now actually R1 has how many ways to reach R4 or network B? 2 ways. On what basis? R1 will decide the best path. On what basis? R1 will decide the best path. Agree? It means if we are dealing with a routing protocol, I am running a routing protocol in a scenario, and for a destination I have how many paths? 2 paths. To decide the best path, what thing I will use? What thing I will use? Metric. Agree? Every routing protocol will have its own metric. Fine. Question? Yes? Any question? Any issue? So what is metric? Metric is a value. It will vary for every routing protocol. This value is used to define best path. Guys, always keep one thing in mind. When you have to select the best, when you have 2 things. If I have 2 girlfriends, only then I can select which one is best. If I have only 1, there is no option. It will also happen once I will get married. Yes. This thing is fine. So you can only define best when you have two things. Agree? So when I have two paths, I can decide whether this path is best or this path is best. On what value I will decide? On the basis of metric. This thing is clear. Now I just want to make clear what do you mean by metric. I am not discussing metric is this thing, metric is this thing, metric is this thing. Just try to understand what is metric. That's all. That thing is clear? Leave it. We will discuss metric for every routing protocol when we will discuss about routing protocols. Fine? Okay. I will give you an example of leaf. Not now. दोबारा बना दिया तेरे सामने डायग्राम फटाफट बोल क्या करना मतलब ब्रो ओके वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन लेट मी से क्या बोलोगे ही इज सेइंग फॉर R1 देयर विल बी टू पाथ्स एग्री फॉर R2 देयर विल बी टू पाथ्स फॉर R3 देयर विल बी फॉर R4 देयर विल बी two paths. Agree? For every router there will be two paths. For every router there will be two paths. But there is a if, there is always a but. When there is if, there is always a but. The thing is, every router never has two paths. Agree? There will be an algorithm for every routing protocol that is used to check or that is used to calculate which router will have two paths or which router will not have two paths. Just tell me one thing. I want to go to Chennai. How many ways are there? Infinity. Agree? If I tell you I want to go to Chennai and I want to go to Chennai via Australia, what you will say? Are you a fool? See, what we people think, like I draw four routers in front of you. Agree? What we people think like this. Yeah, this is a router, it is connected to this router. What I am saying, think it in a big scenario. Agree? India. Fine. US. Fine. Another country, Australia. One more country, Africa. Fine. If this link goes down, I will never go Africa via Australia and US. That will be the worst path I will choose. Agree? So every router will never have two paths. There will be an algorithm running which will calculate that yes, this router can have two paths. That's why there is a metric. That's why there is a metric. So that every router will not calculate two paths. Agree or not? This thing is clear. So you will get to understand this thing when we will discuss more about routing protocols. Fine? Every routing protocol has a mechanism of loop derivation. There's a mechanism of loop derivation. What is a loop? We will discuss from time to time. Fine? Good question. Okay guys, start. Now, static routing. It is 1. What about metric for static routing? Guys, try to understand what I told you. This is R1, R2, R3, R4. There is a user in B network. Agree? If I define a way like this, R1 will always use which way? This way. This is a static path. Agree or not? It means in static path, router can never decide which is best or which is not best. This thing is clear? What I am trying to say, when I am running a dynamic routing protocol, I am running a process on router in which router can select which path is best and which path is not best on the basis of metric. Agree? But in static routing, who has to define the path? Admin has to define the path. It means the path he will decide will be the best path. Agree? So metric for static routing is 0. There is no metric for static routing. Agree? Why it is 0? Because the admin will define the best path. Shall we move on? Okay. To perform static routing, I have two ways. How many ways are there? Two ways. Guys, now everything will depend on the flow. Everything will depend on the flow. Okay. दूल्हे का सहरा सुहाना लगता है, दुल्हन का तो दिल दीवाना लगता है, पलक में भी बदलते हैं रिश्ते। Any issue? Topology is clear? Now guys, if I talk about flow, data will start from here. I will draw my data. Source IP will be, destination IP will be, source MAC will be, destination will be B. Agree? Data will be received by router. When router will send the data, source IP will be 10.0.0.1, destination will be 30.0.0.1, source MAC will be, and destination will be D. Agree? When data will pass from here, again source MAC will be F and destination MAC will be E. Now guys, my concern is at every hop I have to generate ARP. Agree? Very good. At every hop I have to generate ARP. Now, there are two flavors of static routing. First flavor is using exit. Okay, I will make this thing more clear by adding a word using. Guys, first of all, tell me one thing. This FA0/0 and this FA0/0, this can be same. These can be same. Are you confused with this thing? How this is also FA0/0 and how this is also FA0/0? No? Any issues? Because these interfaces are interfaces of different routers. Now guys, what do you mean by using self exit interface? Okay, just tell me first thing, first information, first step 1. Network known to R1. By default, which networks are known to R1? On FA0/1 IP addresses. Agree? To FA0/0. These networks are already known to R1. Agree or not? Step 2. Networks already known to, what will be those networks? Any issue? First thing that you have to check here is, this network is called Agree? Just try to understand. If 10 want to communicate with 30, which network will lie in between? Agree? Agree? Okay. Our first case is by using self-exit interface. What do you mean by this thing? Third step. What I write here? For R1 indirectly connected network is? Agree? For R2 indirectly connected network is? Any issue? Next step is how to tell. Agree? Now, fine. In, we can define. First of all, we will write. What we will write? Agree? For R1, command will be IP space, destination network is 30 dot, subnet mask is self exit interfaces. Self exit interface is FA0/0. Self exit interface is FA0/. Now for R2, IP space, network is self exit interfaces. Any problem? Any issue? Any problem? Now guys, what I told you in the beginning, topology is present in everyone's mind. R1, R2, 10, 20, 30. What I told you guys, at every hop, there is a need of R. Because at every hop, router will change layer 2 information. Agree? But this time, am I telling router about any next hop? I am telling router about any next hop. No, I am just saying router. If you want, I am just saying R1. If you want to reach 30's network, send traffic out of your own this particular interface. Agree? I am telling R2, if you want to reach 10's network, send packet out of this interface. Now, how router will understand this information? Router will think that this particular network, first of all, R1 will think that 30.0.0.0/8 is R1 will think that this 30's network is directly connected to me. Agree? And R2 will think this 10's network is directly connected to me. Because what you are defining exit interface. This thing is clear. Okay. If R1 has to send traffic to 20's network, if R1 has to send traffic to which network? 20's network. What R1 will do? R1 will send traffic out of which interface? Exit. What will be that exit interface? FA0/. The same thing you are telling to R1, that if you want to reach 30's network, send traffic out of which interface? FA0/0. So R1 will predict both the things in same way. R1 will say 20's network also and 30's networks also. Is R directly connected to my which interface? FA0/0. And R2 will also think that 20's network and 10's network are directly connected to which interface? FA0/0. Agree? Now, the user who is sitting here try to send a packet here. Agree? Now, from here he will start. Source MAC will be A, destination will be, data will be received by. Now R1 will check destination IP. Agree or not? Destination IP is. Now R1 will say, yes, I knows about 30 network. But R1 has an information in its routing table that 30.0.0.0/8 is directly connected via which interface? Now what R1 will think? That 30's network is directly connected to me. Agree or not? Source IP is 10.0.0.1. Destination IP is. Now guys, try to understand a point. R1 has to change layer 2 information. Agree or not? R1 has to generate a ARP. R1 will generate ARP for 30.0.0.1. R1 will generate ARP for. See, this time I will tell you here. R1, R2. Here IP is, here IP is. Now R1 will say, I have a traffic in which source IP is, destination is, source MAC is, no source MAC, no. Now what R1 will think, R1 is thinking like 30's network is directly connected to him. Agree? Via which interface? Now R1 will say 30's network is directly connected to me. It means I can generate ARP directly for 30's network. Agree or not? So what R1 will do? R1 will generate a ARP. In ARP, source IP will be 20.0.0.1. Agree? Destination will be 30.0.0.1. Source MAC will be C 30.0.0.1. Yes. Because R1 is thinking that 30's network is directly connected to. Always keep this thing in mind. A router can only generate ARP for a IP when that particular network is directly connected to router. मैं एक नेटवर्क के लिए तभी आर्प जनरेट कर सकता हूं एक आईपी के लिए जब उस आईपी से रिलेटेड नेटवर्क मुझसे क्या है डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड. तो R1 को अब भी यही लगा, आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग द सेम थिंग इन हिंदी. R1 को अब भी यही लगा कि 30 का नेटवर्क उससे क्या है डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड. तो R1 ने डायरेक्टली 30 के आईपी के लिए क्या जनरेट कर दी आर्प. अब ये आर्प कहां तक आई R2 तक. सबसे पहली चीज R2 ने देखा मेरे इंटरफेस की खुद की आईपी क्या है, लेकिन इस आर पैकेट में डेस्टिनेशन आईपी क्या है 30.0.0. क्या ये पर्टिकुलर आर्प इस डेस्टिनेशन के लिए आई है? नहीं. देखो डेस्टिनेशन आईपी है क्या आर्प में 30.0.0.1 और इंटरफेस की खुद की आईपी क्या है R2 कहेगा ये आर्प मेरे लिए जनरेट और आर्प को क्या कर देगा ड्रॉप. आर्प को ड्रॉप कर देगा तो R1 को कभी भी इस इंटरफेस का मैक एड्रेस नहीं मिलेगा. तो मैक एड्रेस ही विल नॉट गेट द मैक एड्रेस, सो देयर विल बी नो कम्युनिकेशन. 10.0.0.1 and 30.0.0.1 will never able to communicate. You people have covered this scenario also in lab? No? You have just done one case, that is by using next hop. So today you will go to the lab, you will do the same case. Tomorrow you will come, what you will say, you know, Piyush, you are a fool. We did the same thing and they were communicating. But what I am telling you this time, they will never communicate. It means there is something extra which is by default enabled on router, which is making them communicate. What is that thing? Leave it. Not now. Concept is clear? Second flavor. So when you will do things by using exit interface, two networks will never communicate. Now there will be a question in your mind, sir, why we build this way then? If there is no communication, why we build this way? Why we have this way? So guys, this way is used. You always use exit interface when you have which media? When you are connecting routers by using a serial media. On serial media there are no MAC addresses. No MAC addresses means no ARP. Agree? In this case, what thing you can use? Self exit interface. This thing is clear? And in this case, there will be no problem because R1 will never generate ARP for R2. So there will be no problem. We will think about the same case like this. Network 10, network 30, network 20. What R1 is thinking, 30's network is directly connected. What R2 is thinking, 10's network is. Computer will send traffic to R1. Now R1 will just send traffic out of this interface. Agree or not? There will be no ARP. R2 will receive the traffic, R2 will send it to the user. In the same way, we will get the reply. This thing is clear? It means when you will use exit interface thing on serial media. Agree? And when you will use next hop thing anywhere. We will discuss now what is next hop. Fine. ये लो बिल्कुल बिल्कुल exit interface is always self. कोई इशू नहीं है, no issues. Second flavor is by using next hop. So guys, R1 same diagram, R2 tens network, and this is 20001, this is 20002. Now what I will say, R1 after that command for R1 IP space, next hop will be 20.0.0. Is there anyone to whom next hop is not clear? Next hop is not clear. See, if I am on R1, this will be my next hop. If I am on R2, this will be my next hop. Next hop always lie, galat lie, in my directly connected network. Fine. This thing is clear. Next hop always lie in my directly connected network. Next hop is also, you can say, a, what you can say next hop? Gateway. Agree? So for R1 next hop will be 20002, for R2 next hop will be 20001. Here next hop will be 20002. For R1 next hop will be 20002, For R2 next hop will be. Now again I am discussing the same thing. How R1 will use this information. Now R1 knows one thing. If I want to reach 30's network, next hop is 20,002. So guys, R1 will build a routing table that if you want to reach 30,000/8 network, next hop is, and R2 knows one thing. If he want to reach 10's network, next hop will be. Now what will be the change? You know, this time when a user will send packet to R1, R1 will check destination is 30,001. It means this user want to reach 30's network. Now R1 will send this traffic to next hop. Next hop is 20,002. It means this time when R1 will generate ARP, source IP will be 20,001 and destination IP will be 20,002, because this time R1 knows about its next hop. In the previous case, R1 was not known to the next hop. This thing is clear? So this is the difference. And this case, R1 will generate a ARP. ARP will be received by R2. R2 will provide its own interface MAC address and they will communicate. There will be no problem. Any problem to anybody? In first case, next hop was not defined. In second case, next hop is defined. Fine? Any problem? बिल्कुल 5 के साथ. नेटवर्क ए, नेटवर्क बी, नेटवर्क x1, x2, y1, y2. Fine? On R1, if you want to reach B network, next hop will be x2. If from R1 you want to reach C network, next hop will be x2. What will be the next hop? भाई बड़ा बड़ा लिखा था कि नेक्स्ट हॉप मेरे नेटवर्क में लाई करेगी, मेरे डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड नेटवर्क में. व्हाट आई राइट देयर, नेक्स्ट हॉप विल ऑलवेज लाई इन माय डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड नेटवर्क. For R3, R3 want to reach A, next hop will be B, Y1. R2 want to reach A, X1. R2 want to reach C, Y2. Any problem? Any issue? This thing is fine. Now you can do the practical. What is load balancing? बाद में बात करेंगे लोड बैलेंसिंग के बारे में, करके दिखा दूंगा अभी. Then things will be clear. Fine? So first of all, we will discuss the second case, then we will discuss the first case. Fine? IP is, gateway is 10.0.0. IP is, gateway is 30.0.0. 30. Fine. Any issues? Any problem? Now see. Protocol is? Why? Because all two interfaces. Now. Any problem? Command to check routing table. What are the two networks? Connected. C means 20.0.0. Directly connected by which interface? Now I want to check metric. Metric is distance. AD is also. Any problem? Distance is also. Metric is also 0. Move on to R1. Now guys look here. You want to tell R1 about 30's network and you want to tell R2 about 10's network. So first thing, IP space, destination prefixes, (20.0.0.2). इसकी अपनी IP है 20.0.0.1. Fine. Now IP space fine. Let us check the routing table. Show IP. This command is used to check full routing table. S means static 10.0.0.0. 1 is 0 is via 20.0.0.1. It means whenever R2 has to send traffic to 10's network, next stop will be. It means whenever R2 has to send traffic to 10's network, layer 2 MAC addresses of 20.0.0.1. Fine. Same is the case with R1. Show IP route. Next stop is now guys, if you want to check only static routes in the routing table, what you want to check? You can run the command show IP route stat. If you want to check only connected routes on the router, you can run the command show IP route. Now I want to check full route information of 30's network. Distance is Y1 because it is a static route. AD for static routing is 1. Metric is still Next hop is 20,002. Agree? Any problem? Now guys, we will check the packet flow. Fine. This guy will send packet to the now see source IP is destination is source MAC is of computer and destination MAC is of router's interface FA0/0. When router is forwarding the packet, the router finds the routing entry to the router decrements the TTL. Now the next hop IP address is the R process look it up in the R table. This is readable. पढ़ा जा रहा है भाई सबसे? पढ़ो क्या लिखा हुआ है? समझ में आई बात? यही बात कर रहे थे हम. The same thing we were discussing. This thing is clear? See now, on this interface packet was received. After that, चेक करो फ्लो को, जो हमने डिस्कस किया था वही है या नहीं. प्लीज चेक द फ्लो. Router will receive the traffic on this interface. After that, router will check the destination, MAC address, then destination, IP address in the. Now, the routing table finds the router decrements the. Now, the router will try to find MAC address for next hop in the ARP table to set it in the data that we are sending. This thing is clear? Then router will send traffic out of this exit interface. Received? Same thing. You can see here. Exit interface. I am getting the reply. Result is successful. This thing is clear? Any problem, any issue? No? Now we will do the same case with exit interface. But before doing that, I will do two things. Do show, copy, paste. No. I have removed the root. Now do, write, and then why I am reloading router? To clear the ARP table. To clear the ARP table. Do show, copy, paste. No. If you want to remove any command from router, write no in front of the command. Do, write. After that, everything is done. Guys, now one more thing I want to add on. In above case, both guys were communicating because of a feature called भाई घर छोड़ना आपका. In above case, two users were communicating because of a feature called proxy R. Try to read it. Tomorrow we will discuss what is. But for now, I will disable proxy ARP on all the interfaces. Why I am disabling it? If it is enabled, computers will communicate. Fine? But by default, if proxy ARP is disabled, they will never communicate. Fine? So, first thing, how to check that on an interface proxy ARP is enabled or not? Anyone? Show. Proxy ARP is by default. Any problem? Any problem? Proxy ARP is? How to disable it? No IP. Fine. No IP. Guys, this is a bug in packet tracer. Now also if I check, what it will show? Proxy ARP is? I will show you on the real router. Wait for some time. But as I run the command show run, you can check it in show run. I am running the command. Proxy ARP is disabled. Agree? So we will check the flow. Sorry. This guy has to communicate with 30001. It will send packet to router. Now what router will do? Sorry. First of all, we have to define the routes. We have not defined the routes till now. Fine. How to define routes? IP space. Show IP route. One thing, it is a static route, and for static route AD is 1. What some people think that it's written like this, that 30's network is directly connected. It means AD is 0, but no, it is a AD will be 1. Agree? Show IP. Do I have a route? No. IP space. Show IP. Show IP route 10.0.0.0. Distance is 1. As it's also written here, 10 network is directly connected, but AD will be 1 as it is a static route. Fine. Forward. Now, look here. Read this thing. R1. The frame destination MAC address matches the. After that. Fine. After that. The destination routing entries are connected. The router set destination as the next hop means the IP to which I am communicating. Look here. Router is generating a R. For which IP? Source is? Destination is? Now the R process, the target IP address, fine. Now this RP will travel. Now read this point. Read this point. First point. Matches the receiving port MAC address, the broadcast address or a, and it is a broadcast address. Third line. The R frame is a, read this line. After that, the R process. If proxy ARP is enabled, this ARP is processed. How? We will discuss it tomorrow, when you people will read about proxy ARP. Fine. So these are the two variations that you have in case of static routing. Fine. Any more things? Yes, one more thing I will be doing for you, the thing you told me. Uh, you have discussed about loopbacks also? Okay. Today tell yourself, sir, tell us about loopbacks. Fine. कल होगी लैब सुबह, कल सुबह बोलना सर को लूपबैक के बारे में बताओ. I am just showing you about that proxy R thing, nothing else. प्रॉक्सी आर पेज ओ भाई स्पीड धीरे हो गई यार अपनी तो. proxy RPs. So packet trace, that is the bug in the packet tracer, that it will never show you proxy RPs. Disable. Fine. Fine. We have 3 routers. We are using serial links. So I can use any way. We can use exit interface also, and we can use next hop also. Fine. I am assigning IP addresses on the routers. Done. Fine. So for your thing, wait. One is left, wait. See, this is the topology. Visible? Here IP is 12001 because it is R. It is R2. Here IP is 12002. Here IP is 23002 because it is R2. It is R3. IP is 23003, 13003, 13001. Here IP is 20020, 20001. Fine. Here IP is 10010, 10001. Fine. Now we have to define routes. I will define two routes on R1, two routes on R3 and two routes on R2. Agree? By using exit interface. I am on R1. See, IP space, which network? Next stop will be serial 2 slash. Agree? Any issues? You can see here interface number is serial 2 slash and other interface is serial 3 slash 0. Fine. Next will be 3 slash. क्यों change होगा? We are defining route for the same network. Fine. Any problem? Now we will move on to, on R2 how many routes we have to define? 2. One for 10s network, other for 20s network. IP space route 10.0.0.0. Next stop will be, sorry, exit interface will be serial 2 slash 3 slash 0 for 20. Fine. Any problem? No. Here, two routes for same network. IP space route 10.0.0.0. Agree? Let me check the routing table. How many routes I have? Two routes. Agree or not? Here, how many routes I have? Sorry. Show IP. Okay. Check it like this. Show IP route. How many routes I have? Two routes. So, if I try to communicate, first of all, let us make communication possible. They are communicating. Okay. Now we have to check which route they are using. Fine. R1 is using direct route, R3 is using route via. Agree? Again I am sending a packet. Agree? They are using route 1 by 1. This thing is happening. Next. Again I am sending a packet. Fine. This thing is clear. They are using the route 1 by 1. This thing is clear to everybody. Any issue? Okay. Doubt is clear? This time we are not running any switching method on router. Nowadays, if you do the same thing in GNS, only one path is used. Because on a router, we have a switching mechanism that is called CEF, Cisco Express Forwarding. Fine. We will discuss it when we will discuss more about load balancing. It means when we will discuss about routing protocols. Fine. So this is the behavior with static routing. Fine. This thing is clear? Any issues? So tomorrow I will start with proxy ARP, then I will move to one more type of static routing, that is called default routing. So tomorrow we will wind up these things, and tomorrow maybe we will start with dynamic routing.